Hello, and welcome back to your daily English fluency training. Today's topic is very important: how to stop translating in your head when you speak English. Almost every learner struggles with this. You know the words, you know the grammar, but when it's time to speak, your brain goes, "Wait, what's the English word for this?" And by the time you finish translating, the conversation has already moved on. Today, I'll show you how to break this habit with real-life examples, relatable stories, and one motivational story. By the end of this episode, you'll know how to think directly in English without translation. Prana, why translation slows you down. Imagine you are in a shop. You want to say, "Bhaiya, ye kitne ka hai?" But your brain goes step by step. 1. Bhaiya equals brother, but in English it doesn't fit. Maybe sir? 2. Ye kitne ka hai? How much is this? By the time you finish, the shopkeeper is already busy with another customer. This is why translation is a problem. When you translate, your brain is working in two languages at the same time. It's like trying to run two apps on an old phone. Everything becomes slow. Pin, real-life example. Let's take another simple example. You are sitting with a friend. She asks, "What did you eat for breakfast?" If you translate from Hindi, you think, "Maine aloo paratha khaya." I ate, potato bread? Wait, paratha? What is paratha in English? You get stuck. But the trick is, don't translate paratha. Just say paratha. Native speakers do this all the time. They say sushi, samosa, tortilla, croissant, so why not paratha? This small change will make your speaking 10 times faster. R. Student story. Let me tell you about Rohit. He always translated word by word from Hindi. For example, instead of saying, "I am 20 years old," he would say, "My age is 20." Grammatically wrong, but that's how Hindi works. Because of translation, his sentences were slow and sometimes funny. So I gave him a challenge. For 1 week, no translation. If he didn't know a word, he would either explain it in simple English or just use the Hindi word. For example, instead of translating rickshaw, he said, "I came here by rickshaw." Instead of struggling with pani puri, he just said, "Yesterday I ate pani puri." After 1 week, he felt much more relaxed. After 1 month, his fluency improved because he stopped wasting time on translation. Now let's practice together. I'll give you a sentence in Hindi. You don't translate word by word. You just express the meaning in English. Sentence 1. Main thoda thak gaya hoon. You can say, "I'm a little tired." Sentence 2. Tumne khana khaya kya? You can say, "Did you eat?" Sentence 3. Bahut tez barish ho rahi hai. You can say, "It's raining heavily." See, the idea is to express the meaning, not the exact words. 5. Motivational story. Now let me share one motivational story. There was a boy named Daniel from Brazil. He loved English, but always translated from Portuguese. His dream was to become a tour guide for foreign tourists. At first, he was shy. When tourists asked him something, he took 5 to 10 seconds to answer because he was busy translating. Some people even laughed. He felt embarrassed. But instead of giving up, Daniel created a system. Every day, he picked 5 sentences from his daily life and practiced them in English without translation. For example, "I'm leaving home." "I'm walking to the bus stop." "I'm opening the shop." He repeated them until they felt automatic. Slowly, he stopped depending on translation. 6 months later, he became one of the most popular tour guides in his city. Tourists loved his confidence. His secret? He said, "I stopped chasing perfect grammar. I started chasing fluency." So, here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, 1. Don't translate in your head. 2. Use simple English words. 3. If you don't know a word, explain it or use your native word. 4. Every day, write 5 sentences in English about your routine. If you do this, your brain will stop translating and start thinking in English directly. Remember this. Remember this. Fluency is not about knowing every word. It's about expressing yourself confidently. Even native speakers don't know every word, but they speak with confidence. You can do the same. So stop translating. Start expressing. And soon, you'll speak English with freedom and confidence. Think about your daily life. When you open your phone, instead of thinking, "I have to check my messages" in your own language first, try to form it directly in English. I need to check WhatsApp. I'm scrolling Instagram. I need to reply to this message. When you are hungry, say to yourself, "I'm hungry." When you drink water, "I'm drinking water." When you feel tired, "I'm feeling sleepy." These are not big or complicated sentences. They are simple, natural, and powerful. The more you practice like this, the more your brain will start to think in English automatically. Let's practice together. I'll give you a sentence in everyday life. You say it in English immediately, without translating word by word. "I'll come in a little while." "Where are you going?" "My phone battery is low." "I feel like having coffee." "I'm getting late." If you practiced with me just now, congratulations! You're already training your brain to respond faster in English. I once taught a student named Ananya. She loved English songs but always tried to translate the lyrics word by word. For example, when she heard "I miss you," she thought of the meaning in her own language before understanding it. One day, she decided to stop translating. She tried to feel the meaning directly in English. When she heard "I miss you," she remembered her best friend. When she heard "I'm proud of you," she thought about her younger brother. Slowly, English became emotional for her, not just a subject in school. Now she can watch movies, listen to songs, and have conversations in English without translating every sentence in her head. Here's the secret. When English connects to your emotions, you stop translating. Practical tips. 1. Use simple words. Don't try to sound advanced. Clarity is more important than complexity. 2. Explain instead of freezing. If you don't know a word, explain it in simple English. For example, if you forget the word fridge, just say, "The machine where I keep food cold." 3. Shadowing. Listen to native speakers and repeat immediately. Don't give your brain time to translate. 4. Practice daily actions. Narrate your routine. I am brushing my teeth. I am cooking. I am walking to work. 5. Forget perfection. Focus on communication, not perfect grammar. There was a young woman named Aisha. She wanted to work in an international company, but in every interview she failed because she translated her answers from her native language into English. It made her slow and nervous. Her teacher told her one thing: stop trying to be perfect. Start speaking directly in English. So Aisha began practicing every morning by describing her day out loud. I am making breakfast. I am getting ready for work. I am taking a taxi. At first, she laughed at herself. But after 3 months, something changed. She stopped translating. Words started to flow naturally. When she went for another interview, she spoke fluently, not perfectly, but confidently. She got the job. Later, she said, "The moment I stopped trying to translate, I started to communicate." Rocket, your 7-day challenge. Here's your challenge for this week. Speak 10 sentences a day about your life in English. Shadow one English video or podcast for 10 minutes daily. If you don't know a word, explain it in English. Don't stop or translate. At night, write one short paragraph in English about your day. If you do this for just 7 days, you'll notice your brain starting to respond faster in English. Do it for 1 month and you'll feel real fluency. Closing words. Translation is like training wheels on a bicycle. It helps at first, but if you never remove it, you'll never ride freely. So today, take off those training wheels. Think directly in English. Speak with confidence. Translation is like training wheels on a bicycle. It helps at first, but if you never remove it, you'll never ride freely. So today, take off those training wheels. Think directly in English. Speak with confidence. And remember, fluency is not perfection. Fluency is freedom. Thank you for joining me today. If this lesson helped you, subscribe for more daily fluency practice. Your English journey has just begun.